Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Gus's concert review power hour, where I review like 8 million bands that I went to see live, and Trent sits here and listens to me because he has no other choice. Hi. So I went to see like a bunch of bands in the past few weekends, and I wanted to talk about them because some of them we've actually talked about on the channel before, and I think some of them I would think like deserve more attention also, but I'm just interested in live music because, you know, I am a musician, so it's just like I have things to say about
This
all
is
of
true.
them.
This is true.
So,
you are a musician boy.
yes.
So this is fair.
Yes. So I wanted to kind of talk about all the live music I've seen, because I've been to concerts the past 3 weekends. So it's been a lot. So I wanted to kind of go through each one, each of the bands I've seen, and like kind of talk about each, like just fucking power through it, and see if, like kind of just go over what I thought about them. And I have checked out some of the music, not all of them yet, but and some bands that I was already familiar with and that kind of thing. So. The first concert I went to. Oh, did you?
I was gonna say
before I start?
yes. Like in my one opportunity to get in a word or two. It has been very fortunate that you've been able to see so many concerts at once. Like at least as far as I'm aware, we don't have anything big like rock festivals. Like there are typically one or two in different states, but I haven't been to any. So I am interested to hear some of the bands, and especially because you've seen some bands that I like, but have never heard, want to see them live. Like, I do want to see them live, so I'm curious to hear what you got to say. So let's get going.
Yeah. So the first thing I went to was Sad Summerfest, which, for those of you who don't know, was a little punk concert headlined by All Time Low. So the first band was, let me double check that actually before I fucking start rambling about shit that I don't know about. But this was like a 1-day thing, so it was basically like a normal concert, but there was like 5 bands performing. Movements, that was the other one. Okay, I don't remember anything about them, but I knew I was missing a band from that. So the first band, we came in while Grayscale was playing. I've only gone and check out one of their songs because we came in like, it was like towards the beginning of their set. But they were cool. I do remember them being pretty cool. They were like kind of like an interesting, I don't know how you put it, but it's like almost like a more aggressive take on punk, just not necessarily in terms of the music, but in terms of like the lyrics and like their attitude. They were like, what's the one that I want? Say It to My Face. That's the one. The song Come Say It to My Face is the one I listened to, and so it was like, you want to talk shit, come say it to my face, that kind of thing, but it was still like very punky. The band themselves didn't really stand out to me, but I thought they were cool for what they were, and it was, you know, we were just getting in, and I'd gotten a beer by this point, so it was I was kind of focused on my beer, unfortunately.
Are you one who tends to?
A lot of people really like.
Are you one that tends to drink like during any concert experience, or like if you have the choice?
I usually like to drink. I don't drink a lot though. I usually just drink a little bit.
Fair enough.
For funsies. So I had a beer. Fuck this shit. The beer at Sad Summer was like $16.
Oh yeah,
that is unbelievable. Thankfully, they were like kind of bigger than normal, but like still, $16 is fucking terrible.
I've only ever known expensive beer from like venues and concerts and shit. It's a fucking rip.
Yeah, it was from the. Well, see, the other ones they had pretty reasonably priced beer. Like, this was the only one that was like ridiculously expensive. But anyway, I do think Grayscale's cool. They like, I haven't listened to a lot of their stuff, but there are a lot of people who really like Grayscale, and they were taken off the tour at one point, and they got put back on. And then people, you know, because like, and I think people like fucking that complained about that Grayscale had been taken off. But they are like kind of interesting. I don't think they really like stand out too much, but they are cool. The next one was The Main. These guys put on a really good show. I don't know them very well, but they're like kind of more indie punk, if you will. Their song Black Butterflies and Deja Vu is one I listen to, and I really like it. It's a huge vibe. And it's so, but the front man, who's like, I don't fucking know, his name's Patrick or something. The only reason I know that is because my date texted me about how attractive he is. So this is the only reason I fucking know his name.
Your date, yo, sus.
Yeah, my date. It was a man. No, I'm just kidding. It was not a man. But if it was, I would probably still have heard about how attractive he is, because he is an attractive man. He was just really naturally charismatic up there in front of everyone, and it was a lot of people at Sad Summer. He was very naturally charismatic and likable. So I didn't remember a whole lot of their music, and I do have a few more other than just Black Butterflies, but a few more songs that I added to my playlist from them. But there was one point where the lead singer kind of took something from the audience. I think it was a frog hat or something, and it's like, oh, is this for me? And he just fucking put it on. He's like, hey, I'm keeping this now. This is mine. You're not getting it back.
That's awesome. Awesome.
And he wore it for the rest of the set, 3 more songs.
I remember something similar.
It was great.
At one of I think it was the opener for Fozzy a few years back when I saw them. The lead singer was in a singlet because it was hot, but he said he was going to sing a real a cover of a country song or something like that, but a rock. So he needed a leather jacket, so he borrowed a leather jacket from someone in the crowd and just wore it for the whole song. You got his fucking sweat all over it, but it was funny. It was pretty. It was pretty
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was so weird that he had worn the frog hat, but it was great. It was fucking awesome. So those guys were really cool, and they put on a really good show. Their music is very suitable to a live setting, which is cool. I think they just put out a relatively new album, but I haven't listened to all of it, but it seems pretty cool, and I'm a fan of theirs. They did really well. The next one was Movement, who I don't remember jack about. I literally didn't even remember to put them on my list. But so that tells you how much they made an impression on me. But I'm sure they were okay. I think it was probably because I think the lead singer was not super. He wasn't. He kind of. It was hard to follow the main. Because that guy was super cool. But yeah. I think Movements was cool, I just didn't remember them very much. The Story So Far is another pretty well-known punk band who co-headlined with All Time Low. Their music I'm not super into. I believe they have a couple songs that are more widely known, although I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. They did pretty well, but All Time Low was the real star of the show here. They put on practically a perfect live performance, I think. And, they've been around for nearly 20 years now. But they were again, they're really naturally charismatic. Alex is the name of the lead singer, and Jack is the other guy, the guitarist, who they were kind of bantering back and forth. And I think they've been best friends for a really long time. So they kind of were very natural about it, and they had some moments in between songs that were they were actually really funny. And he did and overall, I think Alex might have been one of the most naturally talented singers I've seen in the past 3 weekends. I think he missed 2 notes the whole time. Damn. And some of those notes are fucking crazy. I'll talk more about this later, but in comparison to some of the other acts I've seen, that is awesome. And he did really, really well. And again, like I said, he's been singing for 20 years now, so it kind of makes sense. But
they have some
really crazy songs.
He's got the experience. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So he did really well. So All Time Low, if you don't know, they're the band who played Dear Maria, Count Me In. I got your picture, I'm coming with you. That one. So they played that at the very end, and there was this really cool moment where Alex, who was playing like rhythm guitar or whatever, and Jack, who was playing like the other guitar part, they at the very end of, or like towards the end of Dear Maria, during the bridge where the guitars cut out, they both spun in opposite directions and launched their guitars across the stage at the same time to guys off stage who caught their guitars and ran back off stage. It was fucking sick. It was the coolest thing I've like one of the coolest things I saw all weekend. Awesome. Yeah, it was great. So they like, and that they had a really cool set as well, like a lot of the real highlights, as well as their new singles and stuff. It was really good. Their set was awesome, and they performed it really, really well. They had some good moments in between songs that felt very natural and not forced. Like they put on practically the perfect live performance in my mind. Like the guy Jack, who's the guitarist, he's hilarious. He's so funny, and it was really, really good. So nothing but praise for the way All Time Low performed. And I'm very happy I got to see them because they are one of my favorite punk bands, if not my favorite, and just one of my favorite bands in general right now. Like, they did awesome. Actually, it's so stupid, but my date had seen them like 3 days previously, and then she was seeing them again, and it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
She's enjoying one of her favorite bands.
Like. Yeah, good for her. She's insane. Anyway, that's a story for another time. But yeah, All Time Low was fucking cool. I want to see, like, if I can pull up. Oh fuck. Where is Spotify? Oh my god, I'm having a moment. Oh my fucking god, here we go. Just if I can like kind of pull up some of the songs they played that I really liked. I'm glad they played Clumsy from Wake Up Sunshine. That's one of my favorite tracks from that one. Of course, Monsters, which is the one they did, not with, well, they did it like a collab with Demi Lovato, which was okay. I prefer the original one. They played Weightless, of course, which I love Weightless. That one I actually, for you old school fans of my Silver Storm channel, I did a cover of Weightless like way back when, right before I went to college. It's gone now. I did that way back when, and it was very not good, but it's all right. What else did they do? But yeah, that was the extent of it. Basically, they played their new singles, Once in a Lifetime, which I really love, and Postmodern Anxiety, which is very much punk. Oh my god, it's like the most punk shit I've ever heard. Fucking Postmodern Anxiety. It's like that's the one where it's like, am I depressed or am I just bored? That, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't even with that one. It's an okay song, but that's like one of the least impressive songs they've done recently. But it was something. So after that was the Nate Wants to Battle performance, which was an experience.
Looked like it could have gone
obviously
off.
My date did not go with me to that one.
It looked like it could have gone off the rail, depending, because he did like have some shit stolen the week before or something like that. So
yeah, thankfully they were able to perform in DC where I saw them. I think their bus had broken down at one point, and then a little bit later, some of them like the staff members contracted COVID. So
oof.
Scary shit.
So
the opening band there was. So by the way, they just to update everyone, there was like $3 beers at this, because this was a very small venue. I think there were probably no more than 200 people at this show, compared to Sad Summer where they were like probably more like 2,000. So that is about what you would expect.
At least the beer was a bit more reasonable.
The opening band, yeah, the beer was very, very cheap. Thank God. And the opening band was Boy Hero, who has posted some stuff on the Give Heart channel. Never really listened to them. But a lot of the music that they played, I thought, was actually pretty cool. It was very punky stuff. There's some screaming in there somewhere. But the music I actually liked was his original music, which was like on this EP, Recall. But like, especially live, it made an impression because it's like, it sounds cool in the actual song, but a lot of it sounded like even cooler when they played it live. It was like, I don't remember which one I really liked, but it might have been this one. Do you recall?
I can.
Yeah, I think it was this one.
You know, the amazing thing about Spotify now is I can join in and listen to what you're listening to, so I can maybe check it out. But yeah, there's only one song I'm familiar with from Boy Hero, and that's his cover of our Good Morning World, and like that's the only thing I knew from him. So it's good to hear that he's actually really good.
Yeah, his original music is good. Like, I don't think it's like super amazing, off the charts, like good or anything like that. But, like, I think he has a little bit. I think especially in his original EP, he has a little bit of I don't know. The thing about punk is that a lot of times the vocalists don't have a lot of dynamics, right? They all sound like the way tonight and that kind of thing, but they don't really ever change that tone of voice. So, and I think Boy Hero has the same kind of thing. But I do think the music is actually pretty cool. And you know, he's done some covers and stuff, some anime covers and stuff, but actually the only music I have up from him is the stuff from Recall. So it's basically like punk with like a little bit of screaming in here and there. Apparently he's been working for a long time, so
that's good.
He's very good.
The one thing I do have to ask though is in a different video that's probably coming out later than this episode, you said you were singing Nails to Battle and predicted, because of the way, you know, copyright works and all that for covering music and live and certain venues and all that, you predicted that it was going to be a mixture of Nate Wants to Battle's original stuff and FNAF music. How accurate were you?
Incredibly.
Great. That's great to hear.
They played one cover.
One cover. Which
out of a set of 11 tracks.
Which one was that? What was that cover?
Guren no Yumiya, the Attack on Titan opening.
Oh, okay. Did he open with Enjoy the Show?
Yep. No.
Oh, what did he open with?
He opened with... Well, you gotta let me get there first.
Okay.
I still got other bands to get to.
Oh, I thought Boy Hero was the only opener. Alright, cool. What?
No, they had a few more. Let me fucking find this. Okay, so Vespera was next. Vespera did not leave an impression on me, really. The guy, the front man, was really cool. He like kind of took a little break between songs to tell a story. Like, you know, the internet's fucking crazy, and maybe y'all should just enjoy being alive and shit and go outside. And I was like, yeah.
At this point, you're 4 beers.
But yeah, the music just sounds like every other metalcore
At this
band.
point, you're 4 beers down. You're like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, go outside. But yeah, like they sound like every other metalcore band pretty much. They didn't really leave too much of an impression on me. I think their music is cool, especially if you're like more into that kind of genre. I think they would actually be worth checking out. But it's not my thing really. So, but yeah, I thought it was overall pretty cool. They just didn't leave too much of an impression on me. There was one guy, I should mention this, the guitarist, for Vespera, who Vespera actually ended up being Nate's backing band as well. So this guy ended up coming back, which was great. I love this guy, but he was so like awkward. Like he would just stand there and kind of scan the crowd, like so obviously scan the crowd and like kind of judge people as he was looking around. Like he had this like face where he was like kind of focused, but like also he was totally looking around and judging people. So yeah, it was very interesting.
Nice.
But
That'd be so.
Yeah,
That'd be so awkward to look at. Like you're in the middle of fucking like sick performance. You just look to the one band member who's just silently judging you while strumming his guitar.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, that definitely happened. All right. I'm gonna have to take a second here because I don't remember. But afterwards, the co-headliner CG5 came on. CG5 Charlie did really really well. I don't know most of his music. I only know like Show Yourself, the Among Us one. There was surprisingly no shout outs, like nobody shouted out like sus or anything like that because I really wanted to.
Probably for the best.
Well, he played Among Us.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, I almost did it. But it was good. It was something. But yeah, CG5 Charlie did really well. It's very obviously, I'm so mad. He's like only a few months older than us. He's very naturally gifted at singing. And it's so easy to tell. Like I definitely remember making a comment probably on the show about how he did a cover of What I'm Made Of, which is one of the Sonic songs that I really like, and he did it with Family Jewels, and I was like, doesn't really fit that style, and I stand by that. Like his voice isn't, I don't think his voice is a rock voice, but he's a very naturally gifted singer. He like just like he was very like the way he went around and like just sang all his music. He got the crowd involved. It was just great. Like he did really well. I was super impressed with just how in tune he was, like just very naturally talented, like God-given gift for this shit.
He does definitely seem more catered to like pop music rather than rock.
Yes. He's very naturally gifted at singing.
That's awesome.
Which I think, but like I said, I don't know most of his music. The one Show Yourself was really cool. That's the only song I know by him. There might have been another one. Oh, they did of course, they did To the Dungeons, which is their Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team song, of course, because that was a song featuring Nate Wants to Battle. So that's a cute, very cute little song. And I listened to it when it came out, but they did it live, of course, because they were like, "Oh, welcome, Nate Wants to Battle, bring him in," and so they sang their little song together, and it was great. I quite like that song. It's very cute.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was the other one I recognized. Now, I think Charlie being very naturally talented kind of contrasts with our headliner, Nate Wants to Battle, who did okay. I thought he was going to be better live than he was, like not necessarily in terms of the performance itself, but in terms of singing. He was kind of not as good as I thought he was going to be. For example, in comparison to Alex, he was struggling to hit some high notes. He kind of was out of key in a couple places, and it was kind of easy to notice. But a lot of times, I was a little drunk by this point, but it was fine. But he still put on a really good show. He's not I wouldn't say Nate is naturally charismatic like a lot of the frontmen I saw these past few weeks, but I think he really worked on how to get the crowd involved with his songs, and it worked. So I think he overall put on a really strong performance. Now you're gonna have to give me a minute because I don't remember exactly which songs. I feel like I can bring up all the songs.
I will just add the video I did see that a guy I talked to on Facebook, Anthony, a few years back, of a live performance of him and Emily singing "Perfect" by Design. Blew up, by the way, before I took it down. Got a lot of views. But yeah, definitely from that video, it does seem like he does struggle a bit to at least stay in tone with the original song. Keep the same pitch and momentum going. It does seem like he had a bit of trouble with it. So I don't know if that's
and that shit is hard. Don't to not to take away credit from him, right? That shit is hard.
Yeah.
But it's like I guess I just expect him to be better based on how he sounds in his music.
See, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I'd expect from his music. Like, I kind of expect, because with a lot of his music, like there's parts where his like lyrics, they overlap each other. Like he like while he's finishing one part, the second bit's already beginning. So like doing that shit live and having to jump immediately to the next lyrics, you'd lose your breath. Like and you would lose pace. So
and that's where you have other people sing the secondary parts for you. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Because that's what I hesitate to say this, but Andrew, that was his point. That was what he was doing.
Who was doing that? Like, was anyone doing that instead?
It was Vespera's lead singer, because they were his backing band.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were there. It was all good. I keep thinking Phantom was the one he opened with, but I don't think it was. I think Phantom was the second one.
Okay.
But he played, Phantom, definitely played Phantom. They played, a lot of the shits they played kind of surprised me. Some of it didn't surprise me. They played, so I have something to say about this one. They played Manipulate, which I wasn't really surprised by. But I've always kind of had an inkling about this, and now it's kind of confirmed it because of the way he performed it. Every Way to Sunday, Manipulate is a breakup song. And I think it's about Christina. Yeah.
You know, okay, because of how much I love the song Manipulate, because I think it's just a sick song. In that context, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Doesn't it?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've always kind of had an inkling of it. I was always like, this seems a little too not Doki Doki Literature Club and a little more real life shit.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I believe now after he performed it, because he was like super passionate about his performance, and he was like, instead of like during the second verse, he was like, maybe you could fuck with someone else. It was so edgy. Yeah, I think it's a breakup song.
Oh, so he changed it up a little bit and made it a bit more edgy. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could fuck with someone else. Jesus.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh god.
So I do think that is in fact a breakup song. So that's a bit awkward, but it's fine. No, it was cool.
I'm only assuming because of like the nature of the song that it was just an instrumental track with him singing over it. Like, I don't think there was a lot of.
No, they were playing it. They actually there was the last chorus was actually cool. They did more of a rock take on it. It was really cool.
Oh, cool.
Like they actually kind of put some really heavy guitars behind it, and it was very cool. He was a little didn't quite hit those high notes, but it's all right. He tried his best. It was I think then they played Hero of Our Time, which I was very happy about. They played Count the Teeth, which surprised me. Yeah, they didn't play of the Five Nights at Freddy's songs. They played there's like what fucking like 12 or something. They played, or like 13 or something. They played like 4. Count the Teeth was one of them. They took a break, like an intermission, then they came back and played Guren no Yumiya, the Attack on Titan opening. They played Stay the Course, of course, because CG5 was there.
Makes sense.
Stay the Course was, yeah, it was all right. It was kind of, just because of the nature of that song, the vocals are a little quieter, so it was almost kind of hard to hear them for that one.
You could almost just talk instead of sing it, like the way it's the way it goes.
Well, that was the problem, right? Like I could barely hear them over the fucking guitars going goddamn crazy. So they played Branded as well. That was cool.
Nice.
They and of course the last 2 songs were No More and Mangled. I'm trying to think what else they played. Wrecked and the Worried. That was not what I was expecting, but yeah, they played Wrecked and the Worried. Those were the only 2 songs from Paid in Exposure, and Branded was the only one from Sandcastle Kingdoms. So trying to think what else. I know I'm missing the first one, and I don't remember for the life of me what it was. Because I don't think it was Phantom. I don't think it was, but I could be wrong.
You are right though. Out of all the Five Nights at Freddy's songs, why count the teeth?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it just sounds different and works. It could work better live. I don't know. But like, Mangled is almost a shoe-in because of just it's the original.
Right. Yeah, it totally was a shoe-in. Yeah, they played No More. That was like the last song, and then the encore was Mangled. So that, I mean, yeah, it was cool. I have some clips from that. I wonder if I have any clips that show what the fucking first song was, because I know I'm forgetting it. I'm having a moment.
That'd be interesting to hear. Because all I remember hearing is that, during his original Sandcastle Kingdoms tour.
Oh, this is Manipulate. Alright. I did take a clip of Manipulate.
I'd like to see that just to hear how different it is with the rock version of it. But
I don't think I got to the last chorus. It's only like a minute or something. It's not the whole song.
Oh, okay.
Here's Hero of Our Time. Sweet.
That's cool. I'm glad he still at least like represents like the Legend of Zelda shit. I'm glad he's still fucking gone with it. Because that's
I think Hero of Our Time is one of the highest played songs he has as well.
Yeah.
But I love that whole album.
Using Mangled as an encore is perfect because it's like one of his most well-known songs. He knows people are gonna fucking go crazy for it no matter what. So it's just like Mangled as an encore.
I think I think it's like his like the most well-known. If you're going to a Nate Wants to Battle concert, like that's the one you want to hear. Because like that, I mean, I remember listening to that shit when it fucking came out, the original one, which sucks dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. I'm not finding it. I'm having such a hard time. I literally do not remember what the first song was. I know it was like they transitioned from either something into Phantom or from Phantom into something. And I don't remember, because Manipulate was the third song. I remember that very well. But I do not remember what the first song was. I don't think it was anything Paid in Exposure, although it could have been. I don't think it was though. I'm gonna end up texting this girl I met.
Actually, hold on, wait. This is gonna sound dumb. Okay, wait. Seattle, Washington, is that where it was, or was that somewhere else?
No, Washington D.C.
Okay, because I searched up Nate Wants to Battle Live, and one of the songs he did was Blood and Ink.
Oh, that's why I can't remember it. Yes, it was Blood and Ink.
There you go.
Blood and Ink was the opener.
That's a weird opener.
That's what I said.
Blood and Ink. Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I found all these clips like live 4K from Washington, and there's Phantom, and then there's Stop Rewind Acoustic, and then there's Blood and Ink. I'm like,
fucking play that. I would have wanted to hear that. Yeah, Blood and Ink was the first song they played. It's Blood and Ink, and then they transitioned from that into Phantom, which makes sense obviously because they're about the same tempo. They're both swing. It makes it easy.
There you go.
So that was why I couldn't fucking remember it, because Blood and Ink of all things. So yeah, I don't really care for Blood and Ink too much, but it was kind of cool. Weird bendy song to kick it off. Yeah, so it was a fun time though, especially because I was a little bit drunk. And yeah, Nate Wants to Battle did pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see him live, very satisfying. So I'm happy about that. So after that, I went to Blue Ridge Rock Fest, which was an absolute mess. And before I actually get into some of the bigger bands I've seen, the thing about the festivals is that they put on like smaller bands in between big sets, because just to like kind of keep people entertained. And I'm talking really small bands, like fucking like, no one has even heard of these bands. And apparently, like, oh my god, this was so funny. I was making fun of the small bands because I have nothing better to do with my life. But there was this one band that came on, I think it was Sunday, and they were like mediocre at best. But they fucking, the lead singer, he was just like, you know what, despite us being fucking nobodies, we're about to play in front of We Came as Romans, despite us being fucking nobodies, despite me paying to be here, paying Blue Ridge Rock Fest to let us perform, this is fucking awesome, you guys. They had to pay to be there. Like, that's rough.
That's rough, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not care for their music.
How did you afford to bring these bigger bands in? Well, we got the smaller bands to pay for the privilege to be here, and we gave that money to the bigger bands.
Yeah, exactly. So that was definitely interesting. The first, actually, a band before them, God, oh my fucking God. They, it was like a ragtag team of misfits. It was the funniest shit. I need to see if I can find the picture. If I remember, I'll like send it to you so you can put it in the fucking video because it's so funny.
I gotta remember to put it in the video. Yeah, I'll make a timestamp going.
Let's see if I can find it. I think this is the one. Yes. So this is so fucking awkward. It's a 5-piece, and the guitarist was like some guy dressed up to going to like a Slipknot concert. Like, he was a real skinny guy, face painted like straight white, his hair spiked up, wearing all black. So that was the guitarist, right? The lead vocalist, the guy, was like, you know, a little overweight, wearing like a t-shirt and shorts, with like kind of balding a little bit. The other singer, who was some girl, barely moved all performance. She headbanged a little bit. It just looked like fucking some girl they picked up off the street. She like, I don't even know. I is it a video that I took? Yeah, it's a video. I'll send it to you. It's fucking ridiculous. It just looks like some lady they picked up off the street. The bassist looks like some dude from fucking Jamaica. So he really stands out. Like, he was wearing like this fucking green ass shirt. He looked like high as fuck. Looked like he was actually from Jamaica. And then I couldn't really see the drummer all that well. But he was ridiculous too, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, he wasn't wearing a shirt.
Oh, great.
It was such a ragtag team of misfits. I was so amused by it. I came up with names for all of them. It was like the balding singer was like, I still live in my mom's basement. The girl singer was like, not Beyonce. The bassist was like Bob Marley, high in Jamaica or some shit like that. The guitarist was like, I'm a disappointment to my family and I go to every Slipknot concert. And the drummer was, I'm not wearing underwear.
God, Jesus.
That was really, I don't remember their name, but it was fucking hilarious. Anyway, one of the first bands I saw at the festival was From Ashes to New, who were great.
Let's go.
They played some really cool songs live. They opened with Panic, which I found surprising, but it was cool.
Oh.
But yeah, Danny, their singer, is incredible live. He was awesome. So huge props to them. They played Scars That I'm Hiding as well. They played Nothing, which I was a little surprised by, but it was cool. They played some of their old singles, which I didn't recognize. But they also played, they played Crazy. They played Broken, which I'm really happy about. Broken's one of my favorite songs from them. One of their best songs, I think, that they played live was My Name, which is the one where I think Matt is his name, raps a bunch and like raps about like the music industry, and it's an incredible song. But live, it's even better. Like, It was fucking awesome. That was one of my favorite songs all weekend. Like the energy of that, like just the way they performed it, fucking awesome. So that was one of my favorite songs. They also played My Fight, which was one of the old songs.
Yeah, My Fight was the first ever song I heard from Ashes to New. I'm so
yeah,
happy
they played My Fight. That was they played that. That was great.
That's
They and I know they, like I said, they played some of their old singles. But yeah, Danny was fucking awesome. Matt did really well. They had some. I think they had some tracks behind them, of course, but I think they were like they didn't have a bassist, so it was, I don't know how the bass came through, but it was kind of weird to listen to them without a bassist. But yeah, it was very good. They were awesome live. So after that, I saw Skillet.
Yo.
They were pretty good. I did like Skillet. I think Jen was the star of the show, right? She was kicking ass back there, playing on the drums. She did not let up the whole fucking time. Like, she was fucking great.
I don't know how she does it. She must snort cocaine or something. She goes fucking hard the entire time.
Yeah, I think she was the star of the show, that one. That was fucking cool. So obviously they played like some of the greatest hits. They played Comatose, Hero, Monster, Whispers in the Dark, Awake and Alive. What did they play from Unleashed? They definitely opened with Feel Invincible. I remember that.
Yeah.
Back from the Dead. I think they played Undefeated, which surprised me. Their encore was Resistance. They played Legendary. Did they play anything else? No, I think that Legendary was literally the only thing they played from Victorious.
Did they play anything new? That's my question.
No, they did mention that they had a single coming out.
Yeah, I sent you the picture of it, Surviving the Game.
Yes.
It looks like the new album is going to be called Dominion, sorry. Because just from the art.
Sick of It. Which one is that on? They played Sick of It. I remember that.
That's on the one after Awake. It's Rise.
Okay, yeah, they played Sick of It. I do remember that.
Because when I saw them, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because when I saw them again in Adelaide, they performed Dreaming of Eden before. I think it was Dreaming of Eden, or like one of the newer songs on the deluxe album before the deluxe album came out. So and I heard that tends to be a bit of a thing. They sometimes like to play one of the newer songs.
Maybe they played Surviving the Game and I didn't recognize it, but I don't know.
It would have been cool.
But yeah, they did really well. I was very happy with Comatose and Whispers in the Dark. Those were both very cool songs. Hero and Monster, obviously, were really cool to see as well. I was surprised when they went off stage and then came back. Like, they came back like a whole fucking 3 minutes later to play The Resistance, which was a little awkward, but it was fine. Oh god. But yeah, that's what I want to say. So, for Awake and Alive, they had this fucking cello dude, this guy playing the cello come out, and he played this little intro to Awake and Alive, and it was just like this little cello only thing. But it was like kind of supposed to be a little string intro to Awake and Alive. And afterwards, after the rock track started playing and the actual like string track from the song came in, the dude playing the cello, you could not fucking hear him, but he was still up there fucking playing his heart out and headbanging and shit. And if you know anything about how you play the cello, you look so awkward if you try to move when you play the cello. You just can't do it. So, because cello is literally a sitting instrument that you hold like not just against your legs, but against your shoulder. This dude's trying to like headbang as he's playing the cello, and it was so funny. It did not work at all. He looked so awkward.
Man was trying his best.
Yeah, he really did his best. But there was also like a fucking John out here brought like a fucking flamethrower and smoke machine and shit, and he was going ham. It was great.
The fuck?
Yeah, he brought some shit, bro. He brought some shit and was like, Oh no, I don't think he brought a flamethrower. He definitely brought a smoke machine, but there was fire. So that was cool. I guess but yeah, it was very. They put on a really good performance. I think. Definitely got a lot of like a very hype performance. Like they definitely weren't like the strongest band overall. Oh, what the fuck is his name? Who's the guitarist? Not
Seth.
Corey. Seth. He had some sick solos. He did really cool. That was really cool.
Again, I feel everyone underappreciates Seth. Everyone needs to give Seth Morrison some love.
Seth killed it, for sure. After that, I saw a little bit of Hailstorm, who are like this metal band. The only reason I know Hailstorm is because Lizzie Hale did a Lindsey Sterling song way back when, "Shatter Me," which is like fucking awesome. I love Shatter Me. But yeah, we saw some Hailstorm, and they were pretty cool. Lizzie Hale was like playing guitar and shit while she was singing, and these were like some crazy riffs too. Like she did really well. I was very impressed by her. And she's like old. She's getting on now too. Good for her. So I don't, like I said, I don't know any of Hailstorm's songs. I think there might have been a couple that I knew. We're gonna find out.
I'm only slightly familiar with Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Like I know one or two of their songs.
Yeah. They totally. Oh, Skillet played Back from the Dead also. That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know Hailstorm's songs very much. But they had some pretty interesting shit. Especially like a lot of their songs were like kind of blatantly about sex, and like this lady's kind of old now. It was a bit awkward for me. But it's fine. They were really good though. She has this like scream singing, which sounds fucking awesome. I don't know how she does it. My voice would be dead after one of those things. I don't even know if I could pull it off at all. But yeah, it was very impressive. But right after that, the closer was Breaking Benjamin, who I think Breaking Benjamin, they did really well as a band. I was kind of hoping Ben Burnley would sing a little bit more, but I think his voice is like kind of fucked. So he didn't do like super well or anything. In fact, kind of the opposite. He was like a little bit iffy a lot of times. He didn't have as much. Ironically, it was his lower range that he had trouble with. A lot of the higher notes he did pretty well with. But like, you know, a lot of Breaking Benjamin songs, especially it's especially noticeable in a song like Breath. So they play Breath around the middle of the set, which noticeably has like parts in it where it's like, for example, pour salt to the open wound, and like that wound. He can't do that. It sounds really awkward. When he tries to do something like that, like kind of move between notes like that, and it is kind of tricky to get the hang of, but it totally is like one of the defining characteristics of a song like that, and he just can't pull it off. And it's a little sad, but other than that, they had a great set. I don't remember, there was this one song I didn't recognize. I think it might have been Keith Wallen's song, but I don't remember. They opened with Red Cold River. Very cool song to open with.
That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah. So they played. So other than that, they definitely played Torn in Two, of course, which was great, by the way. Ben's falsetto is fucking awesome. I love it. They played. I don't think they played anything else from Ember. I don't think they did. They don't. Yeah, they didn't play Feed the Wolf. Nothing like that. Yeah, I think it was just Red Cold River and Torn in Two. Shit, I clicked on Ember again. But they obviously they played Failure. Diary of Jane was the encore. They played Breath. They played. I'm pretty sure they played Until the End. I think they did. They definitely played Dance with the Devil. And what did they play from Dear Agony? Of course, they played I Will Not Bow. That was one of the highlights. They played Lights Out. That was the one that surprised me. Lights Out was the one that I was not expecting. They also played a few songs, I think, from Saturate, which I don't know very well. I know they played Polyamorous, which I recognized. And I think they played maybe No Games or something along those lines. I don't remember which of the songs. They played like 2 or 3 songs from from Saturate. Or they might have played Break My Fall from We Are Not Alone. They definitely played So Cold, of course, and they played Blow Me Away. So those were all cool. They played Angels Fall. They played Never Again. I think that was it. I think that was everything. Yeah. So I think fucking Blow Me Away especially was really cool because a lot of people recognize that one.
Yeah, no, that easily recognizable for many reasons.
Yeah.
Let alone Halo, but yeah, it's a fucking good song.
Yeah. Everyone loved, dude. All the old men around me were going fucking crazy for So Cold. So Cold is a good song, but I think that was the original song that got Breaking Benjamin really popular way back when. So like all the old dudes around us were like going fucking wild for it. It was great. But yeah, I was especially impressed with Keith Wallen, and I think Danny Birch is the name of the bassist, but they were Ben's backup singers. And they both did really, really well. I mentioned Keith Wallen has a solo album. I haven't listened to it, but I have heard It Finds Us All, I believe is the song I listened to, and I was very impressed by it. Keith Wallen is the rhythm guitarist. He's very cool, and he's a very good singer. So I definitely want to check out his stuff for sure. So it's really cool that he has like his own little solo project going on. So that was the first day. After that, I saw I Prevail a little bit. I saw most of I Prevail. I didn't get too close because I was scared of all the people in there. Because when they played Bow Down, fuck me. Oh my god, the mosh pits that broke out there. Like, people were fucking slugging the shit out of each other. I'm pretty sure a couple people started bleeding. I was just back there having a good time. Enjoying myself. Yeah, no, I Prevail was fucking wild.
Mosh pits are always a fucking uncontained beast. Like,
yes, with I Prevail, who are fucking incredible, it was actually kind of funny. I don't know the guy's name, but the singer was wearing like a fucking soccer jersey. They were all dressed so casually. It was really funny. But yeah, no, it was fucking insane. They played Bow Down right into Gasoline, which I don't really know Gasoline. I only know like Bow Down, like Hurricane, and that's about it. But yeah, no, it was fucking insane. Bow Down is an awesome song, but it's super heavy, and it's got attitude for fucking days. So people were going wild. I saw a little bit of Motionless in White, who I don't know very well, but my date was very insistent on seeing them, and they were actually pretty good. Like I said, I didn't really recognize any of their songs, but I think they were cool, and especially if you're into that especially like that kind of like metalcore, metal whatever, Motionless in White is like a big name for you, and I was like, I don't fucking know I don't know what you're fucking talking about. It was something though, for sure. Not much to say about them. The next day, I got to Friday late, so I could only see a little bit. But the next day we saw a local band, Gravebound, who are actually from Richmond, which where I'm from. They were like interesting. I think they were really cool live because I've checked out some of their music, and it's like it honestly sounds better live, which is interesting.
It's weird how that dynamic works sometimes when you find bands which are just so much better live with like more energy into the performances, whereas just a recording of it, like the band that opened for Fozzy, I don't even fucking remember their name. They're from Adelaide though. I thought they were so good live that I bought their album, and I just can't get into the album. I was just like, I just remember them being so much more fun live. So yeah, it's weird like that.
It is weird, but their music is okay. They're trying to do this weird, like, kind of synthy metalcore combo, which works in some instances, and I haven't heard all of their music, but the instances that I did hear, it's like kind of an interesting take on it. So I appreciate them trying to go outside the box a little bit, but they were cool. So if that sounds interesting, they're called Gravebound. They're a pretty small project from Richmond. And it sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty interesting. We saw 10 Years. That was the other one we saw. That was because I wanted to see them. I don't really know any 10 Years songs, but they played stuff from their new album, which I thought was actually pretty cool. So I don't know 10 Years very well, but it was like 10 Years is one of the main bands that comes up when you see fans also like on Red's Spotify page. So I was like, oh, so people who liked Red also like 10 Years. Maybe I'll listen to 10 Years. And I haven't. But I got to see them live, and they did really well. I don't know how they were doing. They were all wearing like fucking suits and shit. It was like 80 degrees. It was really fucking hot. I don't know how they did it, but yeah, 10 Years was really good live. Like I said, I don't really know any of their songs, but I thought they were really cool. Wage War was one of the ones that I didn't know, but they were fucking awesome. They were one of the best bands all weekend, I think. They're like a metalcore band, and they have some really, really cool songs. Like they like almost, they're like a lot like We Came as Romans, who were one of the bands that I wanted to see, who I'll talk about in a bit. But they were very, very good live. They had some like 2 backup singers for the main guy, and they were both fucking really good. They really blew me away. And the energy of their songs live is great. Like, that shit was shaking the earth, bro. Like, some of those riffs like shook the fucking planet. It was great. We saw Beartooth, who a lot of people compared. The reason I wanted to see Beartooth is because a lot of people compare Dragged Under to Beartooth. Beartooth was pretty cool. Again, I don't know any of their songs, like pretty much every other one. They were very good though. The lead singer seems like an awesome guy. He like I said, I don't know any of their songs, but I did think they were very impressive live. I don't know if they were impressive as Wage War, but I do think they were very cool. And I was impressed by what they had going on. I can see why people compare Dragged Under to them, but they're definitely, Dragged Under is definitely its own thing. Lamb of God. We saw Lamb of God, which was a thing.
I think I've heard of them, actually. Are they?
Of course you have. They're one of the old bands. They're like up there with Metallica and Megadeth and shit.
Yeah, no wonder. Yeah, no. Damn.
But yeah, they were. I had like heard of a couple Lamb of God songs, but didn't really know them. They're getting on a bit. One of the guitarist, or maybe it's their bassist. I think their bassist looks like Gandalf, like straight up. It was they're getting on a bit, but they still did really, really well, I thought. So I was very impressed by them. I don't know how that guy's voice is still functioning. The last band we saw that day was called Bad Flower, which for some reason, I don't know what happened, but the lead singer had lost his voice before they went on stage. And all things considered, he did really well. He's a tiny man. No pun intended. He's a very small man. I think he's probably like a few inches shorter than me. And I'm like average. He was like a few inches shorter than me. He's a very small man.
The
and
small man that lost his voice leading this charge.
He did really well, I thought, for like the position he was in. Like he actually still sang a lot more than I was expecting him to. It's just when you lose your voice, you can kind of still shout a little bit, and so your higher register is still there, but your lower register is just not there at all. So I kind of knew what he was going through. But Bad Flower is not really my style of music. I highly doubt it would be your style either. But it was, and I think my date wanted to see them, but she didn't know any of their songs either. Cause I think like her friends wanted her to see them, and I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But she like, oh my god, the way Bad Flower, like their music is like very, I don't know, like their lyrical take on their music is very modern. Like there was a song called that I listened to from them called 30, which is like, you know, the fucking lead singer complaining about turning 30. And
when they're actually 40.
Yeah, that wish. No, I think the guy's like 30, like 31 or 32. He, like the song 30 is very awkward almost. Like, it's just, because the music is like going and it's like, bam, bam, bam. And the lead singer is like, I masturbate 2 times every hour. I don't have any friends. I have a dead-end job. And that kind of thing. It's very awkward to listen to. So, and they have some more sounding music, but it didn't seem like it was going to be my thing. That said, I thought they were pretty good live.
It seems like they could have chosen a lot of things to perform live, and they chose the thing they thought would get a laugh, but was just awkward as fuck when it was actually done.
Well, I think a lot of people actually do like it. I just thought it was awkward. I think that might have been just a me thing. But it's fine. So that was interesting. We saw the next day, I'm getting close to the end here, Fame on Fire, who is like cover band. Like most of their stuff is like actual covers of stuff. Like, you know, everybody's been covering that one Justin Bieber song recently. Need you to stay, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Everyone's been covering that song recently. So they have a cover of that song. It's one of the ones I heard by them. But they played Numb, which was very cool. I appreciated that. Rest in peace, Chester. But they have an original album too. So they played most of the stuff on that, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I did like what they had going on. I don't think it was really standout stuff, but I did think it was cool. The next band we saw was We Came as Romans, who is one of my favorite metalcore bands. I really love their stuff. They played one of their new songs, which I hadn't heard yet, called Black Hole, which features the singer from Beartooth, and it was very cool. Very good song. I didn't know, like, they played some of their earlier stuff, which I didn't recognize, because I only really know songs from Cold Like War, which was their 2017 album. But they did play Cold Like War, which is like one of my favorite metal songs like ever. It's really good. So I was really happy they played Cold Like War. But yeah, they were really cool live. I think the singer was especially impressive. He, like, no matter how much he screamed, his singing voice was just on point the whole time. Which was so impressive. I was like blown away by how good he was. So definitely recommend We Came as Romans. They're great. We saw Fit for a King, which was one of the most impressive performances all weekend, I think. I don't know any of their songs either, but they reminded me of Wage War. As in, they had some like a whole slew of really good singers. They had this one guitarist who was like ripping out solos like nobody's business, and then hitting like these super high notes like it was also nobody's business. And I was like, oh my god, like this dude, like it was like one of those situations where you're like, any of these dudes could be a lead singer for another band and sound awesome. You know, but they had like this one guy who was a really good screamer. I think he's probably definitely like a step above the other two in terms of how good he was at screaming. But like, you know, you look at these other two guys who are really good singers, and like, you guys could just be singing for like literally anybody and you would sound awesome. But I think in the music industry, you take what you can get. Because I think because I thought the same thing about Wage War as well. Like they had some really good singers. Like you guys could be fucking singing for some shit, and like, but you know, you can't like you can't, you know, immediately start a successful project just because you're a good singer. You know, it takes a lot more than that. So, but yeah, Fit for a King. I do have a couple. I added a couple of their songs to my my playlist of shit. The Price of Agony, really good. God of Fire, good song by them. So highly recommend their stuff. I saw August Burns Red, which was really awkward, ironically, because the drums were too loud in the mix, and I had a really hard time hearing the singer. But August Burns Red is one of these, like, it's like a dad metal band, basically. Not like Lamb of God, but like, because I think Lamb of God is up there with like grandpa metal bands now. But like August Burns Red is like a dad metal band. As in like there's a like the guys are all kind of like in their 40s, having their midlife crises. So, but I thought August Burns Red, other than the drums being too loud, were actually pretty cool. I was very impressed with what they did. It's just like you gotta I don't know, you just gotta be very like into that kind of thing, I guess, like because I don't think they had much singing, if any at all, like actual singing. I think it was pretty much all just screaming stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, then I think they would be really cool. Yeah, so the August Burns Red, the first album was 2005.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I can't say that I'm purely a Scream guy, but I mean it sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I think they did really well, and I think like because I've heard some good stuff about them from like the online guitar community, which I'm only semi involved in, but I like kind of keep track of. So yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about August Burns Red, and I think they did really well. Okay, last band, Ice Nine Kills. They were probably the best performance of the whole weekend, and I say performance. They had a whole thing going on. Ice Nine Kills is like a metal band who writes all of their stuff based on horror movies, which means they have a very dramatic sound. You know, a lot of strings going on, a lot of sound effects.
Interesting.
They were incredible. I don't know the name of the lead singer, but he was probably, again, one of the most impressive singers of the whole weekend. He was fucking awesome, unbelievably good. So I hadn't heard really any of Ice Nine Kills. It's like one of those bands that I've been meaning to listen to. But they were incredible. They were awesome. They had like this huge screen going on in the background. They had like girls coming out and pretending to faint, and he would catch them, and like whatever the fuck was going on in the horror movie and shit. Like it, like the lighting was awesome. Like just the way they had organized the whole performance was flawless.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, right, exactly. It was awesome. So I need to go out and actually check see the rest of their music, but fuck, man, they were really, really good. So super impressed by what they're doing. They all had matching outfits and shit, like, and they would change really quickly. They had these little intros on the screen that was like, show which horror movie it was based on or whatever. It was very impressive. Very impressed with what they did. So they're definitely, their music is a bit more on like the dramatic, scary movie side. So I think it takes like kind of a special taste to actually like them. But then again, 1.4 million monthly listeners might disagree.
Yeah.
So very, but yeah, very cool. Very, like, that was one of the, I think probably the best performance all weekend, like overall. Like,
well,
I just enjoyed them.
You say best performance, like is that also including like just the music in general? Like you just
no, just everything.
Just everything.
Yeah.
Just most involved with it.
Yes.
I mean,
they
does
had
sound...
the whole everything going on. Like, they knew exactly what they were doing. Plus, the band was fucking awesome. Like, even without that shit, they would have been the best all weekend. Like, one of the best all weekend. But with that stuff and like the lighting and the screens going on and the actors and the whole like play shit they had going on. It was great. Like, wow.
I mean, that just sounds cool. Like having shit like that go on, and then like, scary bits. Women run onto the stage just to pretend to faint.
Yeah,
like,
they like look around a little bit and they're like, "Whoa, what's gonna happen to me?" And then he's like, "You're gonna die," and then she like falls over and dies.
That's fucking sick. Imagine if that was part of the song. Just a girl walks out and says on the mic, what is gonna happen? And he just runs up to her like, "You're gonna die," and she fucking falls
Well,
over.
that's the thing. I think it was part of the song or some shit. Like, you know, that's not exactly what happened, but that's basically what happened.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm definitely gonna check out some of their music. But yeah, that was the last band I saw. We saw Papa Roach playing on the way out and decided not to stay for them because we would have to wait until the very end for them to play Last Resort. And I was like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that's fair. I only know Last Resort and To Be Loved from them.
Yeah. Bro, Last Resort was probably wild, and I'm a little sad I missed it, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, the last band that performed was of the whole weekend was Shinedown. I don't like literally the only song I fucking know by Shinedown is the one that was like the theme of Raw for a little bit.
Oh yeah, same. Like I'm trying to figure out what that song was, but yeah, no, that's.
So we didn't see them either, but I was not sad about that.
Yeah, I can't. I did like their album Amaralius, like that. It wasn't actually that bad, but Enemies was the fucking Raw theme.
Oh,
we're right, enemies. Yeah. But I've heard they're alright, but no, that's
5 million listeners. Jesus fucking Christ.
So, sounds like you had a pretty fucking hectic few weeks.
I did.
That's that. Like, I mean, all that consecutive weeks as well. Like,
yeah, it was a lot.
I mean,
I'm concerted out.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I would love to go to a fucking rock or metal festival. I have missed a few, and I definitely want to go to the next one as soon as possible.
Yeah, it was emotionally exhausting. Like, fuck. Especially Blue Ridge Rock Fest especially was like a mess. They didn't really have parking figured out, so we like ended up having to park a whole 2 miles from where the actual venue was. Yeah, like every day too. They didn't like even like after the first day they didn't scan for tickets. They literally just were like letting people in without scanning their tickets. So it was a whole ass mess. But I think the bands were good enough to make up for it. But yeah, it was a fucking mess and a half. I'll tell you what. But yeah, like I'm not gonna go to the next year's festival because I'm festivaled out. Like that was exhausting. I could not do another 4-day shit like that. I think for like what I paid for it, I think it was probably under 200 was what I paid for the tickets. Like that was worth it, right? Like,
is that for all of them combined, or is that just for the festival?
Just for the festival for 4 days.
Yeah,
4 days straight.
Yeah,
of like 11 hours worth of music.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, 4 days. 4 days of 11 hours of music. Like 200 under 200 is like totally reasonable. So it was definitely an experience though. I'm not going to another concert for another month from now. So I'm
what'll that be?
I'm good.
What'll that be? The one in the month?
State Champs, actually. They're one of my other favorite punk bands. They're really, really good. I love them. They're totally like punk. Oh my god, they're so punk rock, bro. It's painful. But yeah, Mike and I are gonna go in Philly, so it'll be good.
All right.
And yeah, that's enough for my concert power hour. Jesus.
We might literally just call it Gus's concert power hour or something like that.
So I know we've talked about a lot of these bands on here already, but if I had to recommend any of them to like take away from this. I think the main were really good. I think Boy Hero was pretty cool. I think Gravebound was pretty cool. Wage War, Beartooth, Fit for a King, and Ice Nine Kills. Those are the ones you want to look out for. Those guys are awesome. So that's what you take away from this.
Wonderful.
So I'll see if I can like try to get some links to good songs or whatever, or something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe even we'll toss in a clip or two
Yeah.
just to add some context to
Yeah.
what you were saying, because I am interested, especially in hearing some of Nate's stuff. Because, like, from what I have heard, yeah, he seems all right, but honestly, it could just depend. And like the guy who threw out his voice, especially, like that just seemed like bad luck. It's just like, yeah. I fucked my voice today, lads. Sorry.
Yeah.
Seems like it's just the shit
Also,
that happens.
completely unrelated, but right before we saw Ice Nine Kills, we like on the same stage that Ice Nine Kills were about to perform, we accidentally went and saw the last few songs of the band who wrote the song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," and we got to see them perform that song by complete accident.
Wait, Drowning Pool?
Yes, we saw them.
Oh, that's mint. That's awesome.
I literally don't know any. I literally did not even know what they were, or that they had wrote that song. I don't know any of their other music, but that was the last song they played, and we were like, "Hey, wait, I know this song."
Yeah, Bodies. What a fucking classic. Jesus Christ.
We accidentally stumbled into seeing that. That was very amusing. So yeah, that's it though.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll upload some clips to our fucking Google Drive and see what we can do.
All right, cool. Thank you everyone for tuning into Gus's concert power hour. That was certainly an experience. It was interesting hearing it all. We have done another podcast episode on concerts and conventions, previous things we have attended. So check that out.
Maybe I'll do another concert power hour a little bit later. We'll see.
Yeah, see how it goes. Yeah, feel free to check that episode out. And yeah, we still got Let's Plays coming up every dang week. Podcasts is whenever we're in the mood for it. We should have a guest one coming up sooner or later. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Check us out on Twitter. Follow us, Silverstorm100 for Gus, TrentJM27 for myself, Firestorm Pod for collectively us and dick jokes. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or anything in between, go to firestormproductions2@gmail.com. Send us a little email.
Send us a cheeky email.
Send a little cheeky email. And or leave a comment. That's also probably much easier. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.